one of the single best movies I've ever seen. Because that thing made me want to rob a bank. Tell me you didn't watch that, and you were like, you know what? I'm putting on a mask, and I'm going to rob a bank.
Which president would you be?
I would like to be, you know what? I'm going to go with Mr. Abraham Lincoln.
Welcome back to another week. It is Whiskey Wednesday again. We love Whiskey Wednesday. It's kind of like Taco Tuesday, but for badasses.
I'll do both.
I like it. I like tacos and whiskey.
Hey, he told me that earlier. He likes both.
Oh, back in White Terrebonne Distillers once again, and we have a great guest on here this week, Mr. Hilary Domangue, the man, the myth, the legend in Terrebonne Parish sports talk. I've been listening to you on the radio and HTV and everywhere else for a long time, and you've been a staple in Terrebonne Parish as far as sports talk and radio and things like that. And welcome on Between the Barrels, and I appreciate you being here.
I appreciate it. I appreciate Between the Barrels right here. That's some good stuff. You know, Harry McCullough, sportscaster for years, told somebody one time, said, man, that's really work. He said, well, he said, it is, but you don't want anybody to feel sorry for you. You're covering sports, you're talking about sports. I would do that all day, every day, anyway, and now someone can pay me for it.
I start off every episode with, who are you and what do you do?
I'm Hilary Domangue. I'm born and raised here in Terrebonne Parish. I am getting old. Married for almost 38 years to Judy.
That's awesome.
My son is getting ready to be 35. He is a pipe inspector offshore. My daughter is 24 years old. She's in her second year of teaching up in Scott. She went to UL, teaches just like her mom. She loves it. And I work at South Central Planning Commission. I'm a lending coordinator, try to help out businesses with small business loans, especially this year with all the stuff that's been going on.
Things have been handcuffing everyone.
Well, it's the programs they have at South Central Planning really help, so that's
awesome.
good.
That's
it's been good to be a part of that.
To small businesses, right?
That's right. They help them out with small businesses in this area. South Central Planning covers 7 parishes down here, and of course we're based here in Terrebonne, but we cover everybody, and it is really good stuff to help out small businesses.
Go check out Hillary and that program. That's awesome.
It's good stuff, and of course I still do a little bit of radio. I do a 2-hour radio show on Friday mornings on Rock 97.7, talk about sports, but we also talk about community stuff too. I feel there's a need for it, even though it is a sports show. And, our friends at Terrebonne General help out and sponsor and everything else, and along with the Friday night football games. Awesome. They also are very open to talking about other stuff. Any events that are coming up around the area, we welcome people to come in and talk about them because it's all community down here.
Tell us about your event, and we'll try to get the most people out there.
And that's what that's why we wanted you to come on.
That's why we started this whole thing.
That's our whole thing too, just to give another platform to this community, and we really appreciate you being part of it. I know you're a big part of this community, and I know you love Terrebonne.
This community has been good to me, so in return, I try to be good back. It's not always an even swallow. you try to do what you can, you know.
Absolutely.
And I think there's so many people down here like that, though.
Right. You got to give a little sometimes, and you got to take a little sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't even tug of the rope, like Coach O likes to say.
I don't know where I learned it from early on, but I always learned if you can't give out of your pocket, give some other kind of way. So I've been involved in a lot of stuff over the years, man.
A lot of us can't.
And it's fun. It's rewarding. You don't need no one giving you any awards. You don't need any pats on the back or praise or anything else. You go out there and help the people, and you feel good about it. And you guys do that all the time, too.
Well, and that's one thing we've talked about, with pretty much all of our guests here, is volunteers. Get out there, get in the parish, do something.
We did it last Saturday.
Yeah, we had the white root cleanup here, the White Terrebonne Distillers, which was a great turnout. I think over 150 people.
65 people, I think they said.
And that was just as simple
we found
as
a toilet. Team Between the Barrels found a toilet.
Yeah.
And, we won the most unique gift. And that wasn't even the most unique one. We found a fuel tank, actually, which is terrible that someone in Terrebonne downtown would put a fuel tank on the side of the road. I don't understand it.
But it's just
maybe it was planted there.
But it was something. It was something as easy as just walking down the street, picking up trash, a couple hours on Saturday morning. And, need. I mean, just get back, and you and I have talked many times, and we participate in a lot of cooking events. And
Well, y'all do the cooking, I do the taste testing.
Right.
Okay, it's a little bit of difference. Okay, everybody's good at their own thing, you know. Mine's eating.
Speaking of cooking, eating, and giving back, we know you got this big event coming on. It's a golf tournament for
Mary Bird Perkins.
Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Tell us a little bit about it and what's going on with that.
It's a fun event. We've been doing this for 13 years, and for anybody who knows golf, it is called a one-man scramble.
Okay.
You hit 2 balls every time.
okay,
You know, a regular golfer would go out there and take a swing and hit a ball. Man, I could have done better than that.
Right,
Well,
same
in
as
this
partner,
tournament, you
right.
get to. You get to
You
hit
get that
2 shots
redemption
every
shot.
time. You're not a part of a team. You play an individual. It's a
Nice.
one-man scramble.
That's awesome.
And the net proceeds from it all go to Mary Bird Perkins TGMC Cancer Center. It's coming up on Halloween morning,
Like it.
which is a Saturday at
October
Ellendale.
31st.
And
no
we'll-
reason
we'll
that
be
a lot of people can't get out there on a Saturday morning.
And look, there are so many people. We're full right now as far as golfers go.
Okay.
So you can't
Sponsors.
register anymore to be a golfer.
Well, you can call me and I'll put you on the wait
Put it on the
list.
list in case something
In
happens.
case something happens. We also have some really great sponsors. Ms. Jennifer Hebert with Busy Bee Concierge and Transportation.
Okay.
She's our presenting sponsor.
Yep.
Got a
That's awesome.
whole bunch of other people that are sponsoring holes and banner sponsors and drink sponsors, food sponsors, cart sponsors, anything where we can raise money for Mary Bird Perkins.
Speaking of raising money, there's something going on, right?
That's
I don't know
that's
if
in
you can
conjunction
see
with
this.
the tournament. This tournament started 13 years ago in honor of a guy named Larry Doucet, an old
Okay.
friend of mine who passed away in an accident. And even though he didn't pass away of any heart disease, which we did it for a couple of years, and we've been doing Mary Bird Perkins for 11 years now, wanted to do something in his honor. He's a good friend and had a lot of good friends. So
Let's remember his name and
we
let's
put
keep
together a little golf tournament, and the proceeds we gave away, and it's been Mary Bird the last 11. Well, all of a sudden, the last 3 years, the dummy that I am, I added a separate raffle to it besides the golf tournament. And so this year, the big prize is that helmet. It is an autographed LSU National Championship helmet signed by Joe Burrow. He even put the inscription 19 champs on it. And it has all the paperwork. It's authentic. It's
one of a kind.
certified.
This thing is official. I can touch this?
Yes, sir.
Don't touch that.
This thing is official. I mean, this is a real helmet. Everybody, get a little close-up picture. All right. And it is signed by Joe Burrow, and it has 19 champ on it. This is pretty cool.
That's beyond pretty
as
cool.
a very,
Who we
as a
kidding?
very
That's
big,
a lot more than pretty cool. We don't have
we
a
got-
word for it.
as a very big LSU fan, I mean,
And you know we love LSU, everything
Yeah.
else, but we got a whole bunch of other stuff. You can't, I can't anyway. I mean, I probably could have done real good just by having a Joe Burrow helmet and everything.
Right.
you
else.
said something about a Shaq
I
picture.
got, we
all
got a
kinds of stuff.
Shaq.
So there's how many
autographed
prizes
picture?
actually?
9.
9 prizes. So
Yeah.
so you go, you buy a raffle ticket. Tell everybody how can you buy this raffle ticket?
You can buy a raffle ticket. You can go on my Facebook, Hilary
Okay.
Domangue, and look it up.
Okay.
You can either get in touch with me, I'll hook up with you and sell the tickets, or you can get them on Venmo or on PayPal.
Okay, so
So there's plenty of different ways.
plenty of different avenues to go find it. The drawing's going to be.
Drawing for this is on November 15th at Hooters, and Hooters has been one of our nice sponsors
Okay.
every year and helps us out.
So people can also go to the tournament on
And
October
buy them
3rd.
that-
So the ticket, that's what I didn't understand if the tickets would still be on sale.
No, we got tickets for another raffle we're doing at the golf tournament.
Come on now.
Where I have over 90 prizes.
Wow.
For that. So we have over 90 prizes for that one that we sell at the tournament, and then we have this one where we sell the $5 tickets for this. And
That's
let's
awesome.
see, let me think if my brain's working. We got the Joe Burrow autograph helmet. We got a Shaquille O'Neal autograph framed picture.
Awesome.
We have a really nice watch from Greg Fake and Fake Jewelers.
Really
Got another watch, a ladies' watch as well. We have a LSU Championship cornhole set that was made by
love
Mark
us some
Arsenal
cornhole.
and Courtney Arsenal and their family.
Okay.
Have a fire pit with a grill attachment on top
Tell me about this fire
by
pit.
Martin Ironworks. Ryan Martin, really good
Cook some
stuff.
food on top of the fire pit.
Yes, sir. You
Which
have,
is
a little
awesome.
you have a little attachment. You just put
Right.
right on top there.
Over the
We
fire.
killed that on a Saturday night at Manny's
Good
house.
stuff. I
We need
got
to
it.
win that. I just bought some tickets.
Perfect. Got an autographed Willie Roaf jersey. Got an autographed Ricky Jackson jersey.
Hall of Famer again.
And we got a Hooters wing party. We got 9 different prizes for that. And like I said, at the tournament, when people come there to play or visit, they can buy the other raffle tickets where we got over 90 prizes.
So spectators are allowed.
Oh, welcome.
Very welcome, and you can buy and win something of the 90 prizes.
So where is the golf tournament?
Golf tournament is at Ellendale, Halloween morning. We tee off at 7:30, and we're going to get everybody out of there as quick as we can because LSU plays Auburn at 2:30 that
Ooh, that's a
afternoon.
big game.
I know.
So go out Halloween morning, Ellendale. Kickoff is at 7:30. Kickoff tee off.
Tee off.
So I don't play golf. I'm sorry.
I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, wait, LSU plays Auburn that week?
When you're at a golf tournament, they got some people who get teed off and kicked off
But
and everything else.
Go check out Mr. Hilary. He's a big event, and it's
It gives back to a great
I'm gonna
cause,
be out
Kansas.
there.
Yeah.
Everybody's been affected by it, unfortunately.
Everybody.
We all have, so give back where you can. Even if you don't play golf, go buy a raffle ticket.
That's right.
You could actually win the coolest prize available.
we love that cause. I mean, we got the Roofer Reason guys that been on the show before.
Oh, man.
They're coming back in a couple
on the
weeks.
show.
Oh, they do a great
They're
job.
coming back in a couple weeks. It's that was the last event we actually was able to really hang out before the COVID thing kind of took off. Normally when the Wild Mod 2s were playing that night.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Yeah, so
It's a good time, man.
We'll definitely go check out the
I
golf
got one more thing too. It's going to be coming up.
Tell me
We
about
just put it together.
Okay.
Another one for Mary Bird Perkins. You know, everybody does football pools.
Yes.
We're going to do a football pool.
Okay.
And my buddy John Price with Tee to Green Magazine is going to help me out with this. We got an a Saints golf bag that's going to be the final score prize. We got rounds of golf at Latour, Bayou Oaks, and Stonebridge for first, second, and third quarter. But when you pay your $10 to get on the pool, you're getting 2 raffle tickets as well to try to win.
That's what I'm
So
talking
we
about.
want to
You
make
can
sure
win that
people
or
know.
So you in a
That's
pool,
exactly.
you're in a football pool, you got raffle tickets to win the helmet,
right.
all that stuff. This is really cool.
Well, you know as well as I do, the events y'all cook at and everything else, the more, when you put on an event, they got events down in South Louisiana every weekend. You got your choice of a dozen things to do every weekend. You put on something where you treat people right.
Absolutely.
And if you treat them right and they come out there and have a good time, they coming back.
That's what it's all
And
about.
that's
That's what
what
it's
you
about.
want. That's what you want. Everybody has good causes.
That's what it's
Yes.
about.
I mean, Mary Bird Perkins TGMC, I love it, and I love raising money for them because I know where the money goes. I see it.
It goes to great cause.
I know it. But everybody has good causes too, and they all trying to raise money, and we try to support as many of them as what we can. And if you treat the people right at whatever event you have, they coming back. They coming back.
I'm excited about it, and I'm excited about having events again. I know the events have been
Yes,
kind of
indeed.
scarce. This is prime time event season, so I'm very happy that you're able to have this golf tournament. I'm sure you've been nervous
And
about it.
y'all coming out and helping out.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yep,
Man.
we sure are.
We got the 18 coming out.
We're gonna be out there Saturday. We're gonna be
Definitely
helping out. Might be on hole. I don't know. Maybe I was told we might be on hole 8 or something. Maybe.
Something like that.
Hanging out, mixing some
With
contraband.
somebody who does some really good cooking that you
Some
know.
guy, a friend of mine, I know him a little bit. Some guy by the name of Doug Davis.
I seen him on that Cajun Trinity show.
Yeah, he
His
might have
shirt
donated
says-
some crawfish to the
Right,
King Trinity
right.
show.
I tell you
He
what.
did. I enjoyed. That's the first one of y'all podcasts I saw was the one with Doug.
With Doug, yeah.
He was awesome.
Good.
Doug's
He was
awesome. We love Doug.
He raffled off a whole sack of crawfish. It
Right.
turned out pretty good.
Oh,
He
he's
should
so
have raffled
nice,
off that
man.
Mardi Gras spot he got. 'Cause that is awesome too, man. That's prime.
That's the one right across from the old Kmart?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's our spot, man.
That's where we go. That's
That's
the
what we
spot.
affectionately call the spot.
The
That's-
spot.
that's
I think it has a Facebook page. The spot. Check it out. If you want to come, it's $25.99 a person. We do provide bathrooms and 1 pound of crawfish.
The spot is sort of like the stick.
Yeah.
So it has its own page.
It's like that stick.
It's
Whoa.
its own personality.
It's got its own thing, man.
So tell me about being in radio. Kind of what is the most memorable thing that stuck out to you over all the years?
I've interviewed a lot of people over the years, and you may remember this name, you may not. I got to interview on the 25th anniversary of 1976 Olympic hockey team. I got to
Miracle on Ice?
interview
The Miracle on Ice
I
team.
got to interview Michael Ruzioni.
Wow.
Man, you talk about, I was on the other end. It's a good thing
And I
you
don't even
didn't
like
see it.
hockey, and I know who that guy is.
Tell you what,
I got
tell
the
you,
biggest
American
grin on my
staple.
face interviewing him.
I tell you
I
what,
bet.
one of my favorite movies in America. I know it's a true store and everything, but the movie that they did with that is fantastic. And I mean, that's a big name in American history.
I was like a little kid on the other
Where did that take place?
He was, as a matter of fact, he was overseas. He was in Scotland doing something. And he works for Boston College, or Boston University rather, in some capacity raising money for them, everything else. And I called them up and said, look, I would love to interview him on the anniversary of this or whatever. I said, well, let's see what we can do. And like a day later, I called up and said, okay, this is the number you need to call at such and such a time.
That's awesome.
So you did that for what? ESPN the radio, or what did you do it for?
We had a local ESPN affiliate that I did an afternoon show on, and we did that for that.
So you did that from here?
Yeah, I called him.
Right.
Home in Scotland. We talked for like 30 minutes. It was good.
Wow, that's cool, man.
He said Herb Brooks was not a good guy. He said he said the movie they made him out to be a good guy. He said he was not a good guy.
That's good.
He was flat honest. I mean, he said, hey, that was a movie. That wasn't real life.
How long have you been doing like the sports talk and different things like that?
Almost 30 years.
30 years.
Yeah, started at HTV 1990 doing some part-time stuff. Went full-time in 91 and did that till 96. We had our second child, had Alex, so went on to try to make a little more money. But learned some valuable stuff working at HTV for Martin. I mean, people do not realize how difficult it is to run a local television station where you're the only game in town. You have to cater to everybody and take care of everybody. It is tough, and he does a really good job, but it's a tough thing to do.
Yeah,
Really
I mean,
is.
I agree. I think he does a great job.
Yeah, it really is tough to do. This drink's good, by the way.
So what do you drink?
I'm drinking a whiskey sour. It's the first time I've had that in years. It's awesome.
Really?
It is really good.
I think that's the first.
That's our
appearance-
first whiskey sour on the
first appearance of the whiskey sour.
We're about on episode 7 or 8, and that's the first whiskey sour.
Well, what though? They were drinking up there a minute ago, an Old Pawpaw?
And Old Pawpaw has been a couple of them.
Yeah.
That's
One of our reoccurring
that's an old
guests.
fact.
That's the
Song.
favorite of the guests.
Yeah, they like it back
Chad
there.
and I always drink the Manny.
That's
Manny
okay.
Fresh.
I'll move to that after.
They named after my good friend, Mr. Manny Merlos. Fresh.
I got an important question.
Yes,
real
sir.
serious right now.
Real serious.
Before the Pedro question, this is real serious.
Will we get the Bayou Bucks back?
Oh, whoa, time out. That was too short of. You didn't even think about it. No. What do you mean, no?
No,
I got a judge back there who's willing to argue this.
minor league indoor football is fading. It's not coming.
Tell me how much fun that was, though.
It was a blast.
I was actually the trainer on that.
I know.
I was on the field.
Are you serious?
Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, I'm learning all kind of stuff tonight. You like Chipper Jones? You was a trainer for the Bayou Bucks. I used to go watch the Bayou Bucks.
Remember that? I had the one game.
What were you training him how to do?
I was I taped ankles and everything. I was on the field. I was an athletic trainer. So one game they caught an interception, came back and jumped off the field. And that's when the boxes were, over the wall.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I jumped on somebody's table, spilled a whole bunch of liquor all over the place.
Spilled liquor. And that's when spilled liquor was
There we
born.
go.
That's where it was born.
But kind of talk on that. That was pretty big.
It was a blast. For me, I got to travel with the team because I did play-by-play.
Right.
So we went to Utah, South Carolina, Oklahoma,
Man,
Missouri, spots in Texas. It was a blast. But they weren't, it was small places. They weren't worried about us broadcasting the games. They weren't set up to do this. We did it in a rodeo arena in Oklahoma City where I broadcast the game in one of the chutes that the Bulls comes out of. In Lake Charles in the Civic Center, they didn't have room on the side for me to do it. I broadcast the game from a catwalk. Okay? Up at top. I broadcast from a catwalk.
That had to be interesting.
At Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, I broadcasted in the stands in the middle of the people.
Live, Hilary Domangue in seat 3, bleacher 7.
And I'm really anal about I keep stats while I do a game.
Do you know this about you?
Because it's what you grow up with.
Right.
When I grew up listening to a game or hearing a game, after a guy has a 5-yard carry, and they say, man, that's already middle of the second quarter. That's already 7 carries for 55 yards. Right. Now, when we grew up, you have to keep that yourself. Now they got people, they have screens in front of you that show all that, whatever. Well, I don't have that when I do a game. on
You do
radio or
Vanderbilt
whatever.
games all the time too,
Yeah,
right?
well,
Baseball
yeah.
and stuff like that.
But that's fun stuff. I mean, like I said, I'm a sports nut, and here they are. Why don't you go travel to Myrtle Beach and broadcast this game? Okay, I'm gonna do it.
Well, since you begged
It's
me, I'll
fun
go.
stuff, Between that, and I did coaches shows for Nichols for years, with basketball coach with Ricky Broussard for years, and all the football coaches. It's just a good time to do. I did Saints on the Bayou for a long time. Myself and Hokie Gajan and Don Schwab did it for 3 years. Before that, we did a show from the old Rick's downtown.
Yeah.
What?
I'm all
Speaking
about
of good times like that, what this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful helmet in front of us. Once again, how awesome. What's going on with LSU this year? What do you think? I mean, after 2 games, I know it's rough. You know, how are you going to get an assessment? But obviously, they bounced back from week 1 to week 2. They've just moved the game to Missouri, 11 o'clock kickoff.
It's official. We playing in Missouri now?
Yes.
It's already official.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts so far? Hey.
When people were going cuckoo on social media after they got beat by Mississippi State,
Right.
I just went on there and I made a list. 19 players gone from the team last
Unheard
year.
of, bro.
The national champion. Yeah, no
Four
one's ever lost that much.
4 returning starters.
14 of them drafted.
Yeah.
Right.
2 of them were out hurt that game, Glenn Logan and Stingley.
Sting.
You had,
Oh, wait, stop. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Only the most
The best quarterback
dominant
in the country.
defensive player in the country, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right now.
They lose Marcel Brooks, who transferred to go
Right.
help his family out. He went to TCU. And they had the 3 that opted out for COVID.
Which one of those
Chase-
was the best
Chase.
wide receiver in the
Best
country?
wide
Yeah,
receiver in the
Jamar Chase and Kerry Vincent Jr. and Tyler Shelvin.
Right, the
Not to
defensive lineman.
mention short practices.
Yep.
Starting off with a brand new defensive coordinator,
And you lose your best player the night
and
before the
you're
game.
the best
Yeah.
quarterback performance of all time.
I'm not expecting a whole lot from them this year.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
not. There are very few teams that year in and year out can stay at that high level despite losing
Right.
a lot, and they're not at that point yet. But no one has ever, and they even said it in the broadcast, there is no team ever that lost as many quality football players as LSU did
It was
from that
crazy.
national championship
and
team.
coaches and everything
Yeah,
else.
and lose your offensive coordinator, your defensive coordinator, your offensive your signal caller,
Yeah.
your behind-the-scenes guys on the offense that broke down all the tape
Which
and
I was
everything else.
reading a thing today that said that Joe Brady is more likely next year to be an NFL head coach, and he's more likely not to be. So the odds are that he's going to be a head coach because he got the offense rolling in Carolina. And I mean, so you lose that. That's a big piece.
They
man.
went last week in
And-
Carolina without Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
and won.
Yeah.
With 2-glove Teddy, which
Also-
I love him. He did good for us.
Also, in my personal opinion, I don't think, especially in the SEC, I don't think there'll be an undefeated team this year.
Neither do I. I
do
agree.
not think.
Well, I hate
I
to
think
say,
with
I
the
hate to
short
say it.
season-
I saw Bama the other day. They look good.
They do look
They
good.
look really good.
But I think even there, I
I
mean,
mean, they're playing the
you got-
Sisters of the Poor right now.
you
They
got-
play Texas A&M.
well, they always do. But
mean,
now they're
come-
playing the
that's who they
SEC
play.
sisters of
you
the
got
Poor.
to, you got to.
You're right.
I don't think anybody can play a full SEC schedule
It's very tough.
and win every game.
It's very
the way
tough.
it is.
And you know
So-
one thing too, with LSU losing that first game against Mississippi State, the reason you have those non-conference games
Alcorn
leading up to
State.
it is to get your guys some quality reps, not against your own team, to work against other teams. And they
This
didn't
is your
have that either.
preseason
They're not the
games.
only one, but LSU really needed it because they had so many new starters.
Dude, look at
Yeah.
Oklahoma. They got freaking punched 2 times.
Yeah.
LSU just took the left. Oklahoma took the left and the right. They got knocked out twice.
After LSU loses to Mississippi State, and Mississippi State looked so good that day.
Yes.
I mean, their quarterback,
Their
Costello,
quarterback
looked
looked
like
like
an
he was a
All-American.
first-round draft pick.
He made throws that he's never made in his life in
Yes,
that game.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Costello, right? Was his
Yeah,
name?
J.K. Costello.
Really stepped
but then
up.
all of a sudden, or KJ Costello,
KJ,
but all of a
you're
sudden
right.
last week, they get beat by Arkansas. So, you know.
Life in the SEC, like Manny
Yeah.
said.
Life in
You're
the
not going to
SEC.
go
It's
undefeated.
every week, constant.
It's crazy. I'm looking forward. They got good, like I said. Coach O's doing a great job recruiting. He always has been that.
Oh,
Yeah,
Coach
that's
O,
his
been the
when,
guy.
when he was at Miami of Florida, when he was at
Yeah,
USC,
he got
when he
warm
was
set.
at Ole
He
Miss,
got-
when he was
right.
at Tennessee, he was the
Everywhere
top
he
recruiter
goes.
in the country.
Everywhere he goes.
Yeah.
And that's what he does. All right, I think we got a question from the crowd. What we got?
Yes, sir.
I got a question. Miles Brennan shoes Can we get him some lighter shoes?
Miles Brennan is filling big shoes. I mean,
Hey,
His shoes look lighter, and look. I'm sorry. His shoes looked lighter last week than they did against Mississippi State. He looked like he moved a little bit, stepped up in the pocket.
You stepping in behind the
the
greatest
GOAT.
quarterback
anytime,
of LSU history.
no matter if you're
This
a
dude.
coach, a quarterback, anything, when you're coming behind one of the best of all time, a legend,
The
it's
best.
tough. We're sitting there grading, Miles Brennan
Yeah.
versus what we saw from Joe
Right.
Brady last year, which was the
Burrow.
greatest, Joe Burrow, with Joe Brady.
Yeah.
Yes.
The greatest performance by a college quarterback in the season that we'll ever see.
Right.
So it's tough for
And
anybody
also,
to
I
come
think
behind.
too is a problem that as fans, we have always had an issue with quarterback at LSU, always. And then finally, we get a quarterback at LSU, and then he graduates and he wins the Heisman Trophy and he wins the national championship, and he's the best ever. And they were like, "All right, well that next dude, he better step up." I was like, "Holy shit, man!"
My quick opinion to that is this year's a building year for Miles Brennan. Next year, Miles Brennan is going to light up college football. That's
hope.
just what I'm thinking.
I hope you're right.
And you got to remember too, Joe Burrow's junior year wasn't that great.
Well, and
Joe
if you,
Burrow
if
couldn't
you
beat out
listen
Dwayne Haskins, unfortunately. Dwayne Haskins has lost his job
to Washington, yeah.
to Johnny one
Utah.
time. Johnny Utah in Washington, the Washington Football Club.
The Seminoles are
come
coming
on,
back.
dude. Johnny Utah is freaking playing quarterback this week and not Dwayne Haskins. So Joe Burrow
Wait a
couldn't
minute,
even beat
Johnny
him out.
Utah was in Point Break, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Utah, give me two. Utah, give me two.
One of the single best movies I've ever seen. Because that thing made me want to rob a bank. Tell me you didn't watch that and you were like, you know what? I'm putting on a mask
Which
and I'm going to rob a
which
bank.
president would you be?
I would like to be, you know what? I'm going to go with Mr. Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, I mean, but you had mixed metaphors there. You were saying Johnny Utah, but you really meant Shane Falco.
Shane Falco.
Johnny Utah was a
Johnny Utah was in Point Break.
quarterback for Ohio State. He blew his knee out. That's why they knew him on the beach, man.
Yeah,
He
but
played in the Rose Bowl.
But all we saw was him passing a football in the sand
Right,
on the
you're
beach
right.
at night trying to get laid, okay?
Against,
That's why he was doing that.
He was throwing that against, what was your boy, Patrick Swayze in
Patrick
Roadhouse?
Swayze,
What was
yeah.
his name, though? Dalton.
Dalton.
He was throwing
Dalton?
against Dalton. Dalton was playing cornerback, and your boy Utah was popping over the side.
Jeez.
I mean, come
We're all
on.
over the place now.
I like the replacement. So that was good.
That's
I
a
like the
good
replacements, and I love Point Break. I'm going to tell you
All
that.
right.
What do you think about the defensive end Alley-Gate?
So far, so good. I mean, he
Dude.
came in there as a transfer, and he's playing great. And also the kid they got from North Dakota State.
Yeah.
Man,
Jabril Cox.
Yeah, he was All-American for 3 years
At
over there.
at a program that won the championship.
They won 3 years in a
Yeah,
row,
what
yeah.
were they?
They're
Division
good.
like 2 or 3 or something?
Yes, it's FBS.
Okay,
No,
FBS.
FCS rather.
Right.
FCS. FBS is the big boys. FCS is Football Championship Series.
Right.
That's the same ones that Nichols plays in.
Right, and this guy was
Yeah.
a 2 or 3 time champion.
Yep.
He had 1 year left. He chose to come to LSU, and he caught that pick six. I mean,
He's good.
The
football.
defense is in
they,
good
They
hands
have
with
some
them
good
two
players,
boys.
but they're inexperienced.
exactly. They don't have enough reps.
And the only way to get experience is to play games.
Reps.
And that's,
And
that's
reps.
what they're doing right
That's
now.
why they
And
have
a
to
new
play this
system.
week's game.
And a change from 3-4-4-3.
You like the 4-3? I like the 4-3 better.
In college, I like the 3-4 better.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. I just finally we didn't put enough pressure.
I like the
from
4-3
line.
with switch because that might let us
especially
get
since a lot of offenses are spread out. Now.
Yeah.
I'd rather the 3-4 in college right now.
right. A little quicker guys on the field.
But then again, they get paid to coach out there.
Right. We just sit here on Wednesdays and drink whiskey.
That's exactly right. I'll come back anytime.
Whiskey Wednesday.
go.
Even
Let me-
behind the scenes, sitting with the guys over there.
Hey,
Let me throw this out. You're
We
invited
have a-
anytime. We have
an
one,
alumni that
3
gathers.
alumni back there.
Yeah, we have an alumni
love
that
it.
gathers on Wednesdays. We're here at
Yeah.
6
We
o'clock.
might play a little
Good
Pedro
stuff.
later on. It's gonna be good times.
Pedro? Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. Go
We'll
ahead,
get to
bro.
that.
Let's
All
get
right.
into some
So the
real
next
serious
topic,
now.
Saints. We got to cover all the football, all the sports. Saints
football season.
I'm gonna go ahead and ask a question that everybody wants to ask, but nobody's gonna say it. Okay,
Good.
And I might,
Elephant in the
I
room.
I might get a few comments later.
Let's address the elephant in the room.
with the elephant in the room with Saints football.
Hey, don't call me an elephant.
No, it's not you, Bud.
Drew Brees.
Unless you go into the Hall of Fame.
Is Drew Brees done? Should Drew Brees retire? Should we move on? What should we do?
No.
Saints
Our best chance to win is with him.
with Drew Brees.
Yeah. You're talking about the last couple of games. First game was good enough with Michael Thomas.
Okay.
Last couple of games, he hasn't looked that good. Beginning in the defense you played against was a little bit better.
And Taysom Hill fumbled against
Drew
the Packers.
Brees, they're making a big deal out of Drew Brees not throwing the ball downfield a whole lot.
Right.
Drew Brees has been doing that for the past 4 or 5 years.
Correct. For
Dinkin
sure.
and Duncan. You got Alvin Kamara. You can throw a swing pass out and get 15, 20 yards every time.
Agreed.
Jared Cook, tight end. He likes those little swing passes. Michael Thomas does not run routes down the field a lot.
We don't have
He's
deep
intermediate.
threats.
He's one of the best route runners the NFL has ever seen. One-on-one,
I
they
can agree with
cannot
that.
cover it.
No,
and
it's
so
impossible.
he's always open, and that's a security blanket for Drew. All of a sudden, you don't have that.
What about Football Hill? Mr. Football, Mr. Hill.
He
I
fumbled
don't
against
think
the
he's-
Packers, man.
I don't
I
think
think
he's
they're forcing it
quarterback.
to him now.
No, he's a great athlete, but he's not a great quarterback.
I don't think he'd be a quarterback.
I think we need to use him more like we did the last couple of years. This year, we're not using
Put
him
him
the
as a
same.
receiver. He should be as a receiver.
Yeah,
He can
We're
catch
not-
the football.
We're not using him the same this year, and
Right.
that's why he hasn't been as successful. We're not using him in the same fashion that we did.
Yeah.
I hope we do because he adds a lot.
Boy, he could be a slot receiver.
I feel like what we're doing with him now is if he's going to be at the quarterback slot, all we're going to do is either give it to the running back or fake it to the running back. They never allow him to throw the ball this year.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's a strong suit, but I tell you what, last year in the playoff game, he sure looked
Yeah.
like good throwing that freaking deep ball.
He is, but he's not a full-time quarterback.
No, he's definitely not a
gonna-
full-time quarterback.
He's not going to be.
No, Jameis Winston's more the full-time answer,
Yeah.
in my opinion, than
So you
than
keep
Taysom.
Brees and you keep Brees for what, 1 or 2 more years? What would be
I think
No,
this is it. for Drew.
This is it.
I think this is it.
Yeah.
I thought
Last year?
I thought Drew
That's
was.
what I think,
thought
too.
Drew was retiring after last year. He came really close.
No,
he
he
told
was-
everybody he came really close. I thought it was done because he was leaving the Saints in the best possible terms he could have. They could have re-signed Teddy Bridgewater if he would have retired.
Right.
Still had Hill behind him. Have another young guy come on in there. It was the opportune time for him to resign.
You know,
And
who's the
he had
dark
second
horse to be the
thoughts and came
quarterback
back.
of the Saints next year? If Drew Brees would have retired, you know who's the next quarterback?
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady reached out
No
to him.
way.
Yeah. Tom Brady reached out to the Saints.
The Saints and Tom Brady were talking. When
Yeah,
Drew was mulling
and
over
they
whether
said
he
that
was
if
going to
Drew would
retire
have
or not.
retired, that Tom Brady,
Brady
would
would've come
have.
here.
It was more than
Instead of
50% chance that he would have signed with the Saints.
Wow.
He threw for like. I mean,
Look, this is it.
What could have been.
Right
Yeah.
here, this is the Saints' window this
Right.
year. They have got to, and they're injured like crazy, but a lot of other teams are injured. This is their window.
they'll get healthy in
Right
November.
here, because I think this is Drew's last year. You got big contracts coming up for Lattimore, for Ramczyk. They already signed Davis, so he's coming back.
signed
Williams
Just signed
as
Kamara
well.
again.
Kamara, they just got him back, and Davis. But you got more guys. I mean,
Right.
Ramczyk is an All-Pro.
Yeah.
Ramczyk's the best
Lattimore's
right
a Pro
tackle in
Bowler.
football.
Yeah, I mean, you got guys coming up. You have a
Right, you
lot
have
of
to sign
quality
that kid.
guys. And how are you going to do that with, even if retires or not, Drew's going to take a hit on salary cap, $25 million on the team, whether he's there or not.
Right.
You got the big contract that Cam Jordan has, the big contract Thomas has, Kamara, Davis.
Right.
And the salary cap, because of the
Shit, we
COVID
even
and the
paying the
television
punter like
ratings, everything
freaking
else,
$4 million.
that's going to go back from probably 192 million to about 170.
Yeah.
So you're losing 22 million,
Yeah, you gotta
and
factor
you got
all
all
that in.
those guys you got to sign. They won't be able to get all of them back.
You don't have the fans. And
No,
the
you won't be able to get all
concessions
those
and
guys back, and that's sad because they built a really good team through the draft and some free agency.
Right.
And this is it. They have to win right now, or you're going to lose 4 or 5 really good pieces.
Yeah,
of
it's
that
going to be
team.
so impactful next year. It's going to be not a rebuilding, a reloading, but it's not going to be the Super Bowl
It's not
team.
going to be the same. All the people who complained over the years about Drew making all that money, wait till he's not there.
Dude.
They're going to be crying for him.
You know
to come
what?
back.
Those people, in my opinion, never watched people before. I mean, Drew minus maybe Aaron Brooks a couple years and Bobby when he had a couple
Yeah.
years. Other than that, quarterback play in New Orleans has been the most hideous thing ever. Drew Brees comes, you have Sean Payton. People don't, you know what they say? You don't know how good you got it till it's gone.
That's right.
And when Sean Payton leaves, people are going to be going, damn, I didn't realize how good that guy was and how much he had his stuff together.
I think Sean wants to stay even after Drew because I think
agree.
he wants to prove to people that he can do it with someone else.
And I think he likes Jameis.
I think he can do that. Yeah, well, Jameis is a project now. Jameis is a great talent.
Jameis got the talent.
But, man, last year broke an NFL record, 30 touchdowns
Yeah,
and
but
30
boy, he had that
interceptions.
LASIK surgery this summer. I heard he had
That
the
could-
LASIK,
that
and
could
now
help.
that's
That
it,
could
dude.
help.
He's got that
It's
laser.
very important to see when you're a quarterback.
I mean, shit, I don't know nothing about football except
never
if you're
been a
going to be the
quarterback
quarterback, it would be a pretty good thing for you to be able to see the whole field.
You never saw Stevie Wonder play quarterback.
I never saw Stevie Wonder. I saw Steve Young, and he was great.
Yeah.
So give me
Never
a
Stevie
prediction.
Wonder.
Saints and LSU.
What's going to happen at the end of the year? Give us
LSU, I think 6-4. Saints, I think 11-5.
Playoffs.
Yeah.
1 or 2
Playoffs. I don't know if
rounds.
they'll win the division. Tampa Bay's playing very well right now.
Yep.
They have a really good defense too. So I don't
And
know.
they got
if Saints
this
will win
guy
the division.
playing
They'll be in the
quarterback
playoffs.
named Tom
He's
Brady.
pretty good.
I've heard of him. His name's Tom Brady, I think.
He threw 5 touchdowns last week to 5 different receivers. He's
That's
okay.
I don't know nothing about football. That sounds pretty impressive.
He's got a little hardware on his hand too from previous years.
I would think his hands would be weighed down from on the Super
And
Bowl ring.
unlike any other quarterback in NFL history in this time where they make so much money, he doesn't need it. His wife makes $500 million a
Yeah,
year.
she's the
He doesn't need
breadwinner.
it.
His money is the pocket change in
Yeah.
the family. His wife pays the bills. Can you imagine,
Giselle
bro?
makes a lot of money.
All right. So we talked to LSU, talked to Saints. Chad wants to get into something very important, which is important to all of us: local football.
High school football, bro. I know you.
I'll give you 2 words.
Okay.
Mason Smith.
Talk to me now.
Okay, who? I'm not quite
Talk to
sure
me,
if
man.
I know this.
Mason Smith is the best prospect to come out of this region in years. And we've
think
had,
that was-
we've had some good guys
I've
come out
heard
of here.
people
okay?
say he's the best ever.
I think that was one of our questions tonight. Was who you think would be the biggest prospect this year, the most impressive? And
Well, Mason by far.
No, sis. Yeah, I knew the answer to
By
that
far,
question.
man.
That's
He's a
my
stud.
boy,
And,
Mason.
and more than that, I don't know the kid.
Okay.
But I've heard nothing but great things.
I know the
about him.
kid
He is
personally.
a class act. You do?
Yes,
I've
he
heard
is.
he is a class act.
He is he's a humble kid. He knows what he has to do. For instance, okay, COVID comes out, we're in a quarantine. He's like, you know what I need to do, Jack? So Jackie's who I talk to. She's basically like my sister-in-law. So anyway, it's like I need to get lean, I feel like. This guy lost 43 pounds in the quarantine. Why? On his own. So when we go out to the scrimmage 2 weeks ago, I'm like, bruh, what happened to Mason? And Jackie's like, oh, he's been on that diet. I said, he told me he was doing keto. No, but I didn't realize he was on this serious diet. This kid leaned up. And so what I'm trying to say is that he's not just trying to lay on the talent alone. He's a workaholic. I mean, he's constantly working.
that's
I mean,
pretty
he was-
special on a young kid like that. in high
It is. I
school.
mean, this kid's got a work ethic given to him by his father, I believe, and it's just he just constant work.
As I said, I heard he's a good kid. And Stan Gravois, that is the director of TGMC Community Sports Institute. We
Right,
do a lot
right,
of stuff.
right.
with him. Well, Stan does radio with me. He's done TV with me. We've done all that stuff. He told me a story that a couple months ago he's cutting his grass in his house.
Okay.
And all of a sudden he sees this huge guy walking out of a car truck to come and talk to him, and Stan stopped along or whatever. And it was Mason. Mason recognized Stan for the TV stuff he does and everything else, and said, I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm Mason Smith. Just out the blue, man.
That's
Just
so
a good
awesome.
kid. He said, I appreciate, all y'all do with high school sports and everything else. Just a good kid.
Because he's been raised right. He was raised right.
Yeah.
Hopefully, he puts on some purple and gold next year.
Oh, man, I hope so.
Look, I love that kid. I tell him every time I see him, I said, man, let me tell you something, bro. You look so nice and purple. I mean, you don't even understand. I said, Mason, you don't even understand
you're
how
already
good
used to
it
the
looks
Tiger
on you,
logo.
bro.
Well, there have been good kids throughout the years come through here, man. Look at Elijah McGuire.
Right.
Look at, years ago you had a guy named Pete Burks out of Terrebonne who was a quarterback for them, signed with Arkansas. Started with Arkansas as a freshman, a really good player. You've had, the Landry, the Green kids from Donaldsonville, Jarvis Green and all those guys.
Right.
You've
All those
had-
boys that went to LSU.
Yeah, I mean, you got, South Terrebonne guys where you had over the years, Melvin Johnson back, 40 years ago, his brother Troy,
The Butler.
the Butler kid, the Livas kid. I mean, you got great
Bunch of
athletes
talented
all
kids.
over.
But I'm
Jim,
gonna tell you
a
what,
few years ago had a guy taken second overall in the draft, Greg Robinson, an offensive
right.
lineman.
Intimidating. But it's what I told my kids a long time ago. I said, you know what? You can't teach what Mason has. He's 6'5". He's 300-some pounds. And I tell you what, he's got a motor like nobody's got. And when he gets coaching at LSU, or I hope, I love you, Mason. Let's go to LSU, baby. Wherever he goes, we're going to support him. But he's going to get coaching that's going to just drive this kid to the next level. He's a three-year college kid. I mean, he's going to go to college. He's going to play for 3 years. He's going to go to the NFL. Not a lot of people from this region could say they do that.
He is going to get, if he goes there, defensive line coach is a guy named Bill Johnson, who was a defensive line coach with the Saints when they won the Super Bowl.
Remember that? Yes.
Coach O is a defensive line.
You're a
coach.
head coach.
He is
your
in there
position
with them
coach.
all the time.
Your position coach will be your head coach. I mean, to me, you're not going to get in a better situation than that. Especially learning from someone who coached Warren Sapp, The Rock. I mean, Coach O got skins on the walls. So, I mean, it's impressive. I just, hope he chooses LSU.
So you think? So let me ask you this: most impressive to you in your career coming out of a terrible parish?
Any sport?
Any sport? It's been a lot.
Wow.
You cover
I think-
basketball as well?
Basketball as
So
well.
we
I
go
think-
terrible or terrible in
I
LSU?
think the domination of Edie White baseball when Jonathan Zarang was here, who
That's
went on
pretty
to a
impressive.
stellar career at LSU, and they got drafted, never did make it to the majors, whatever. Boy, you talk about just a guy who crushed the ball.
Really?
And the team around him was really
Yeah.
good too. I mean, they were really, really good. There's so many you can name. I
Yeah.
mean, the last few years, I've been involved with that Bayou Sports Region Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's so many good players that have gone in there from this region.
Absolutely.
So far, I mean, you talk about Bobby. Look at the career Bobby had from down in South Lafourche and what he
South
did.
Lafourche tarping for life, you heard? Class of 96.
Yes,
Here we go.
for sure. And guy I went to school with, Brandon Belanger.
Yep.
Belanger had one of the nastiest curveballs I've ever seen in my
Brandon
life.
and Kenny Hollenbeck.
Kenny Hollenbeck.
Hollenbeck went to Northeast Louisiana, which it was then, and in Louisiana Monroe. He's in their Hall of Fame now.
Yeah.
Brandon ended up being a
Went to
All-American
Yeah.
at Tulane.
Yep.
Became a reliever, started throwing sidearm, and got everybody out.
And Ryan, his brother. I went to
Man,
school
just
with Ryan.
good players all around this area. And like I said, over the years, when I first started covering a lot of sports down here, whatever, Pat Key was the coach at Terrebonne. But boy, he had some great teams over there. I mentioned Pete Burks, and he had a guy named
Coach me at
Kenyatta
Vanderbilt.
Celestine who played with him. Man, they had some studs played on those teams. And I've never seen anybody besides the Robinson kid that came out of Vanderbilt and had the controversy and went to Hahnville. He's now at Nichols
Right,
now.
quarterback.
Best throwing quarterback I've seen since Pete Burks. Pete Burks could spin a ball, man. He was good, and he just got caught up in a bad situation in Arkansas. I think he could have played in a really big-time college atmosphere and be able to throw the ball, not run it like what they were doing all the time. He was a great player.
Tell you what, there's been some a lot of athletes coming in and out of this town. We got a lot of athletes right now. So.
You remember Gary Thomas?
Absolutely.
Played at Vanderbilt, got drafted by baseball, played the Oakland A's system for a while, got up to AAA, I think.
Good guy.
Played quarterback at Vanderbilt. And I mentioned the Green guys over at Donisville. Jarvis Green played with won Super Bowls with New England.
With New England Patriots.
Man, no one can catch Gary Thomas except Jarvis Green.
I could talk to you about sports all night. I know Chad can too because Chad's a local football guru. I ask him about my local football.
All the Tarpons are local football players.
Good people. The
Live and die.
Once again, South Lafourche, class of 96. You heard me?
Good people. The people from South
Coach
Lafourche.
O, Bobby J, Chad
The Blue
Guidry.
Dead Bullets.
I mean, come on,
Wait,
dude.
wait,
Boogie LeBlanc.
Yeah, all them doing, man.
So I'll get off of sports for a little bit because I know you're not just a sports guy. But let me ask you this, and I ask all the guests this: favorite Cajun food if you had to eat one the rest of your life?
shrimp, okra, crab meat gumbo.
Lord, a shrimp, okra, crab meat gumbo. Can we start cooking right now?
That was my birthday meal.
I'm gonna make the
every
room,
year
dude.
for my mom. God bless her. Every birthday.
Really?
Wait a minute. Let's go over this
What a
combo.
great
again, 'cause
Cajun one.
I've never heard this combo before. Shrimp,
Shrimp okra.
okra,
crab meat.
crab
And
meat.
you
So
just drop the
it's
crab
basically
meat.
a seafood gumbo with a little okra in it.
Yep.
Just right here. I'm gonna make the roux. You make the rice.
Ooh, man, and I'll eat.
No, I'm gonna tell you one thing. I know how to cook a couple things. Rice is not one of them, dude. Unless it's a rice cooker.
That's pretty good.
I can cook a jambalaya.
Good jambalaya. That's good. Do you put tomatoes in the gumbo?
No, tomatoes go with lettuce and cucumbers in a salad.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right, and I'm not a rabbit, so I'm not eating lettuce or cucumber. I'm
As
eating
my-
like a
As my
cheeseburger with
favorite man
cheese.
says, that nothing new in the Walmart twos. There's no tomatoes in this trinity.
That's exactly right. Absolutely. Different trinity.
I
All
like
right,
it.
so let's get real serious right quick. I read your bio. I know you are from Terrebonne Parish.
What did I major in at Nichols?
Yes, he is amazing.
Cheeseburger, no, I'm sorry. Chili cheese fries.
Yep.
And the one that caught my eye was this game called Pedro?
Pedro, yeah. Also
Right.
game room. I was.
And Game Rooms,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, yeah.
I
knew
was
there
a
three of them.
fixture. Yeah.
All right, so let's get to this Pedro thing you called.
What's
How do you, I don't know. It's like that Blu-ray thing they talked about a couple weeks ago.
Dude, don't even get started on
Yeah, Earl said something about Blu-ray.
Love Blu-ray.
No, I know what Blu-ray is.
Love Blu-ray.
I love Blu-ray for some quarters.
I can put
I
some
waited a
salt
lot
on
of
it.
time, made me some money. All right, talk about this for real. Real serious shit here. Pedro, cutthroat, follow suit. How'd you learn? Because I know you're from Terrebonne, you went to LaFouche school, so you are definitely, you know how to play both ways.
Yep. Learn from some friends. Follow suit.
Okay?
4-7.
4-7, I like it.
Okay, so that was that was a question.
We had a
that was-
question from a fan.
That was a question
From
that
one of
was
our
brought
partners.
up. That was a question that was brought up in on the Facebook of Spit Liquor
It was one
last
of our
week.
friends.
One of our friends and a former guest here, or
future guest.
Norby chimed in. Jason kind of started the
Yeah,
question.
Jason will be a future guy.
4, 6, or 7 is a big question. So I like 7. 6 are for kids that don't want to play.
Right.
I like it. I've never even heard of 4, 6. Okay.
Oh, I've heard of 4-6 and I have played
Oh,
it, but
dude.
I'd rather 4-7.
I don't like 6. I mean 6.
I played 4-6.
What you
Follow suit. A lot of times
No
in my
field
life.
goal? Hell no, bro.
Right, but what's this thing I heard about before we started filming? My whole life you played a 62.
Bro, what
I
the?
don't know.
Where y'all come from with these
I don't
62?
know, man. I played the 52 or 104.
62.
I've look, bro.
Always played the 62.
when
Hey,
I
and so where in LaFouche have you went to Thibodeau? This must be a Thibodeau thing.
No,
But I'm gonna tell you what.
no, because it's all played in Houma, and
Nobody
the only
right
time
here.
I ever played in
Nobody right
Thibodeau was at some bar rooms along Highway 24, but they were on the Terrebonne side.
Look,
So
okay.
it was still 62.
Look, when
Cause
I
look.
learned at the Truck Stop Casino in 311 eating corn nuggets at 2 o'clock in the morning, drunk as Peter Brown, it was 52. I'm sorry.
Look, I learned from down the bayou. Harold Dufresne, one
But
of the
this is
best
a big-
Pedro
this
players.
is a big
you gonna know.
controversy.
But with the corn nuggets and the drunkenness, they didn't think you could get to 62.
Well, probably
so they said 52.
I can't count that. I kind of like the Ruga
No,
from
I
last
play,
week.
yeah.
You know?
Hey,
I can't
13
count-
stones
can't
will
count
get the
that.
Ruga done.
Look,
This
I'm gonna
is
call
October
Lil
festival.
Mark and Big E and them that play every day at Rosie's and down the bayou.
You ain't got to. Go Harold Dufresne, my boy, man. He knows what's up. 52, bro.
But never
New 52 to new.
So it's been a big controversy here at the Spit Liquor Studios.
That's
aka
all right.
down,
Hey,
by Tavern on the
I
Stove.
lost $10 over with my friend Mr. Tim, and that's okay with it because the $10 is
So
the
now we
standard
gotta play the
standard.
62 every week. I've
that's
never
fine.
played a 52.
It keeps me
I mean,
in
I've
for
always
more
played
hand.
52.
Now look, I gotta tell y'all though, on the radio show on Fridays, okay,
Alright.
it's on Rock 97.7. During football season, we do a pick segment against the spread.
Okay.
Now, every year, we are between 65-70%. We do very well.
So,
Now,
so
if
you
we
say,
ever-
can we give you some money to gamble? Is that
no,
what you're
if we
asking?
ever put a nickel on it, we would lose our asses. But since we just,
Right, do it for fun.
when we did it with Hooters as a sponsor, we were betting wings. With Downtown Joe, we were betting biscuits. When we were at Partners, we were betting boudin balls.
Sure.
Well, now it's a different day and age, So
Right.
it's myself, Richard Watkins, and Kurt Falke.
So where are you?
Some of those guys.
Where y'all
But
doing
we're in
from
the studio
remote?
now with COVID.
Okay, so it's from remote.
But we're betting different things this year.
not remote.
COVID and hurricanes and all that stuff. Kurt is betting Lysol wipes because you know how valuable those are now, okay?
Very important.
Richard's even more important. Richard is betting Charmin Ultra Soft 3-ply tissue. Okay, that's very important.
That still exists.
And mine with, I'm more food oriented.
Yeah.
I'm betting cancer Vienna sausage.
Very
So
important.
that's our
Very
bets.
important with so many storms in the
Absolutely.
Gulf.
That's
of
really
Mexico.
important. Like we're about to get hit with a storm. So
I'll tell you what.
You need all that stuff.
Tell you what, former guest Tim Allender, which is here tonight in the crowd. You can wave to him. He's waving at me right now. Nobody else sees. But he's been my partner for the past couple of weeks against Chad and the final owner of this establishment, Mr. Noah. You
We've
can
been
take
whooping.
my spot tonight.
We've been
And
whooping.
y'all can beat Chad because look,
Oh,
we're 1-1
whatever.
right now. We're 1-1.
And tonight we will be playing for this beautiful helmet. The wrath was over, Cap. It's done with your Irving. Tonight's Pedro is for the helmet.
The series is tied.
And if I win, I'll donate it back to the raffle, so it's all good.
The series is tied. Look at Noah coming in.
Take it home. Take it home, baby. It's us against the world.
All you got to do is buy raffle tickets.
That's it. I just bought a couple of them.
Do you bet 14-28 with just the Pedro in your hand and lead with the Pedro? Because I did that last week and we won. Look,
Here it is, brother. Show them what they're looking
That's
for,
it
Mr.
right
Hilary.
there. This is the Larry Doucet Memorial. And as I said earlier, an old friend
Which?
who untimely
It's awesome.
passed away.
Unfortunately.
And we give all the proceeds from this, all the net proceeds, to Mary Burke Perkins TGM Cancer Center in his name. It's from the Larry Doucet Memorial. We got the golf tournament on Halloween Day. The golf tournament is full, but if you want to play, give me a call. I'll put you on a wait list. Somebody may back out.
Or come out there and watch. Come out there and watch.
Come out there.
We're
and
gonna
have
be
some
on the
fun.
8th
We got
hole,
food,
right?
drink.
We're on the 8th
Yeah.
hole. We're gonna be out there on the 8th hole hanging out.
At least go donate
Before we
some
go
time.
spend Halloween at
Yeah.
my boy Manny Fresh's house. That's where we do Halloween every year.
Go hang out, go buy a
Early
raffle
morning, we're
ticket,
going to
have
the
some
golf
fun.
course.
You can buy these two. You can holler at me. Everybody knows my number, okay?
Good family event,
985, yes, sir. 985-991-6145 is the number.
45.
If you want to buy them on PayPal, it's Larry Doucet Memorial at gmail.com. Or if you want to buy them on Venmo, it's at Larry Doucet Memorial.
We'll definitely link
Plenty
all that
of
info.
ways to buy them. And look, it's for a great cause. It's
Right.
for, Mary Burke Perkins TGMC Cancer Center.
Everyone's been affected by cancer, unfortunately.
Everybody
It
has in this
sucks,
area.
It
unfortunately.
does.
I have been, my mom, but
It
thank
does.
God she is a survivor.
But look, I put this thing together, but there's no way I could do that without the people who come out and play, the people who donate the money from their businesses to help sponsor. As I said, Jennifer Hebert with Busy Bee Concierge, our presenting sponsor, all the people that play, all the people that are coming out there to bring out food and drinks so that everybody can
It's our
enjoy
great
the day.
community.
I mean, and that's what it is. You guys do that all the time.
Yeah.
That's what it is. People down there have the biggest hearts.
So once again, thank you, Mr. Hillary. Appreciate you coming out. Chad,
Yeah,
tell me who we
appreciate
got
you.
next week. We got a good guest coming on next week.
Next week, we're going to try to follow Mr. Hillary with the Cajun Ninja. You might have heard of him. Paya Kamsa. He likes to cook food. He likes to whip ass. He is the Cajun Ninja. And he's going to be right here.
AKA.
I can't say. I can't. No, of course.
All I know is the man can cook.
No, that dude can
Oh, that dude whips ass, dude.
AKA Cajun Ninja, AKA Jason Deruin coming on the show.
Dude, he's going to be right here between the barrels, bruh.
So-
it's going to be lit. So we're going to do it.
Are
What?
y'all having a match?
No, we're not having a match.
We're
But
not
I'm going to
big
wear a
boys
Cobra
to break.
Kai t-shirt I got from back in 1984. I used to be team not Karate Kid. I was team Johnny. So I have
You
this
were Cobra
shirt.
Kai?
I was Cobra Kai. It's
Sweep
cut.
the leg, John.
It looks terrible. Hey, sweep the leg, no mercy. And that's where I was at. So we'll see what he got to say, and we'll go from there.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hillary. Appreciate you being on.
Appreciate you, brother.
And
Lots
from
of fun.
Chad and I, between
And that's
the
where we're
girls, Noah, producer Norm, we out.
We out. Boom, boom. Come ça.
Close.